why would I want to go out there and just talk about vitamins, period? Well, first things first, 70% of people tend to be taking nutritional supplements. 70%. Now, some people are saying, well, Duke, does that mean we're going to talk to the 30% that aren't? I believe, if you want to, you can, but for the most part, what, the 70%, this is what I believe. Let's talk about market. Okay, now for me, I guess you could say I kind of do marketing. Let's say this makes logical sense. When it comes to a car, again, I'm a car guy, some people don't really care about the car too much. They go, just give me a car that gets me from point A to point B. Now some people say, I want a car that goes from point A to point B really fast. And now some people say, I want a car that goes from point A to point B really fast and looks really good. Right? When it comes to cars, people have their preferences. Now this is what I believe when it comes to health. For the average person, if they're spending the money on it, they want to make sure it works. Right? They will spend the money to make sure that it works. But you know what's crazy out there when you're going to a supermarket? When you're in that aisle, you really can't tell what works. We're going based on how pretty the bottle looks. Right? So we're kind of looking into it blind. We pick that product, we're like, well, the bottle looks good, I guess it must work. It's safe to say that is not a logical, I guess you could say, response on how we should be looking at nutritionals. So, one thing I like about USANA especially, you gotta imagine, again, the founder's a scientist. He wouldn't have it any other way. He has to make sure it works. Now, this is what I know about marketing. You don't necessarily have to be the best. Just make sure you're better than most. But on top of that, just make sure you're better than the big three. Right? If you're better than the big three, odds are most people use the big three. What are the big three? From what I know out here, it's Centrum, Kirkland, and One A Day. Right? Centrum, Kirkland, and One A Day. Now if you look at right here, the comparative guide to nutritional supplements, this is really cool. This was done by Lau McWilliam. He was asked by the Canadian Parliament to research supplements. Basically, the Canadian government asked him to go out there and research supplements. So he better not be, biased, because that could cost him his job there, right? He researched it. Now, if you want to get that book, you can get it at Borders, you can get it at Barnes & Noble, okay? You can get it wherever you need to get it. But you know what? We have one right here. We actually have 2 editions. I like the 3rd edition. I think it's fun to talk about the 3rd. And we're going to show the 4th one too, just in case if people go, well, I want to know where USANA is stacked up. Anyways, talking about the comparative guide, so many nutritional